What are you waiting for?
Come join the Geek Drums Nation. Well, what is up, guys? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about Mufasa, the Lion King. I'm going to give you my full thoughts on this movie, the good and the bad. First of all, if you are new here, please like, share, and subscribe. I would say become a channel member today, but you all know what happened with that. We're back on that road in February of next year, and I want to thank you for being a part of this channel for a full year now. If you have been subscribed to me, I've been on this YouTube journey since 2022, seriously anyway, and I'm just grateful for all the support. So anyway, Mufasa the Lion King. This movie surprised me because when I first heard the premise, everybody knows 2019's Lion King remake, they went photorealistic, and they really went photorealistic, as in the animals, they showed no emotion. Well, if you have not seen this film, I'm happy to report that they did a complete 180 with this. Barry Jenkins, he heard the complaints from the previous film directed by Jon Favreau, and where Jon Favreau wanted to go, more realistic and, make the animals actually be animals. That's no fault against Jon Favreau. Jon Favreau has always and will always be a phenomenal actor and filmmaker. But, he went realistic. He thought that would work. But us, as the people who grew up with the Lion King, that's my childhood right there. We want to see the characters that we saw growing up. And with this, they did a return to form. It's still the photorealistic route, as you can see in my background. But, I mean, guys, they showed emotions. They were smiling. You saw them frowning. You saw them surprised, shocked, scared. You saw all of that in their faces. Their mouths were. It's a scene in the film where Mufasa is with his birth parents, and all three of them are sitting there smiling, and that just made me so happy to see. So that was a plus. The animals emoted. That's a plus on my blog. The story was good, but like I said on TikTok and Instagram when I did my first initial post about this film, you can feel the runtime because the story does drag. This story, it seems like the first half, you don't get a lot of time with Mufasa as a cub with his birth parents. You don't get a lot of time with Mufasa as a cub with Taka, aka Scar's parents, either. It rushes through that. Then you get to the adult years, because that's where the meat and potatoes of this story are. You get to those adult years, and then since this is kind of like a road trip journey, it kind of drags slightly. It wasn't too bad for me, but I did feel that you do feel the runtime in the theater. Like you've probably heard a lot of other reviewers say, a lot of other professional critics or whatever. You do feel the runtime just a tad, but it wasn't too bad for me. Getting the introductions to different characters like Rafiki, Sarabi, and Zazu, seeing where they all met up with Mufasa and Scar, that was also cool to see. Knowing that Mufasa and Scar, in fact, did want to eat Rafiki upon first meeting him, that was really cool. The voice acting for this was phenomenal. I think everybody that they chose to play these younger versions of these characters did a phenomenal job. Even with Beyonce, Donald Glover, Billy Eichner, Seth Rogen, and Blue Ivy, them reprising their roles from the first remake, I think they did a good job, especially Donald Glover. Whenever I think of adult Simba now, I think of Donald Glover. Donald Glover does a phenomenal job. You can hear how he has matured his Simba voice the same way Matthew Broderick did when they did The Lion King to Simba's Pride. You can hear the maturity. You can hear the that's the best word for it. You can hear the maturity in the voice, and I loved that. Blue Ivy surprised me. That was one of my red flags when I heard, not just hating on a kid, but like, she's not a voice actor. She has never done this before. Yes, everybody has to start off somewhere, but I didn't think that starting off point would be The Lion King, the same way people had problems with Kanye's daughter Northwest when she did it on the the celebration when she was a young Simba. Before, I just can't wait to begin. You don't start off with The Lion King unless you've been doing this for a while, if you get what I mean. But she surprised me. Seeing young Kiara, she did a excellent job in this role. Excellent job. Beyonce was Beyonce. She didn't even have that big of a role in this film. And towards the end of the film, they do introduce a son for Simba and Nala, and that is presumably Kion. If you guys have watched the Lion Guard series that aired on Disney Junior a few years ago. It ran for 4 seasons. Yeah, I think we're gonna be getting that story if they do make a third film. This film went up against Sonic 3 last weekend, and Sonic 3 beat it out in the in the box office. But this is the #1 movie in the world at the moment. Sonic is the #1 movie in America, so that's a good thing to keep an eye on. And they said this weekend that Mufasa's box office numbers are jumping up even more and more, and that's because a lot of the stuff from the soundtrack and clips are trending on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So people are saying that this movie isn't what they thought it was, and I'm always glad to hear that. Now, once we do jump in further into that story, a lot of people are trying to say Mufasa's the villain. Mufasa's not the villain in this story at all. Mufasa is just doing what he was raised to do. He was raised by Eshe, who is Taka's mother. When you get into this film and you do see the way that Scar's father is, King Obasi, he is the king. He is a king. There are several Lion Kings. They rule their own kingdoms. This movie is about a road trip to get to Malele, aka the Pride Lands. Like, this movie even gave us a origin for Pride Rock, which honestly I didn't need. Honestly, I thought it was funny when I seen it. Like, the way Pride Rock was formed, I thought it was hilarious. It was basically an accident waiting to happen, if you really want to think about it that way. But it gives us the introduction. So people saying, "Oh, you stole Scar's birthright, Mufasa." No, he didn't steal anything, because there was no king of Malele at that time. They did that because Mufasa literally saved. Mufasa was not scared to go against these evil lions led by Kiros. Kiros is the main antagonist of this movie, played by Mads Mikkelsen, and again, he did a wonderful job. He had some great songs as well. I'm sure you've heard them online, but yes, he did a phenomenal job. That's where the major conflict starts. A teenage Mufasa is out hunting with Eshe, Scar's mother. Scar's father already told her when Mufasa was a kid, after Scar let him win that race, everybody knows Scar let him win so his father would not kill him. That's #1 of Scar. Scar saved Mufasa a numerous amount of times. So Scar may have been a coward, but he always cared for his brother until he just couldn't take that jealousy and rage anymore. So yeah, but so Mufasa, Scar's father, was gonna eat him, which is what real lions, they added some real world stuff in here. Real lions do that. If another male comes into the pride, they will kill it. Like, they will kill and attack it. So Obasi was completely against Mufasa at first, made him stay with the females, let him do all the hunting. He always told Scar that kings don't do anything. They sit there and lay around, they sleep. That's how they protect the pride. His father was a horrible king. He was the king of the shade tree, or whatever they wanted to call it. I did not care about that. The voice actor, the actor for Obasi is from, he played Morgan on The Walking Dead, so he's always, Lenny James, I believe. He's always a great actor to me, but this character, man, I hated his character. His father was terrible, and you could tell that Eshe did grow to care for Mufasa as her own. Mufasa didn't even want to leave her when it was time for them to go, because he knew they would not be able to protect themselves from Kiros, and the outsiders, and that is exactly what happened. But we do see Mufasa protect and defend Eshe. He accidentally kills Kiros' son, and lets the other lion escape. So that's what sets Kiros on the path to hunt them down and attempt to kill them. Kiros says he will be the one and only Lion King. Everything that the light touches belongs to him. He sings a nice little song, Bye Bye. If you guys have heard it, that song was pretty funny. Yeah, he basically wipes out Scar's whole entire family and pride. So then they set out on their journey as brothers. They're still pretty close. This whole movie takes place, well, at least the road trip aspect takes place like in I want to say like 1 or 2 days. So, they meet Sarabi, who is the princess of another pride, who she had to go. They find out that Zazu is her, advisor, her major domo, the person that, is advised to protect her because he's a bird. Her father felt that, it was good to have somebody like that in their guard, if you want to say that. Taka is immediately attracted to her. So is Mufasa, but as, respecting his brother, he tries to help her. He tries to help him out as much as he possibly can. But they cause a stampede because the outsiders are there. This is a stampede. That's where Scar, a lot of people say this is where Scar gets the idea to do the stampede with the wildebeest and the Lion King once they get older. It's a whole stampede. Mufasa protects her. Yada, yada, yada. He says some things like, I got you. And she hears him say that again because Mufasa says that Taka's the one that did it, and there's a whole funny exchange. We get another good song. We go together. I love that song. That's where Rafiki, all of them sing. It's really funny. This movie has some great moments, guys. And to keep this video from being too long, I rated this movie a 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, the story did drag a little bit, but voice acting was top tier. Aaron Pierre as Mufasa and Kelvin Harrison Jr. as Scar. Kelvin Harrison, you did your thing, I must say, especially from going from, the upbeat Taka to when he becomes the jealous Scar. You channeled that Chiwetel Ejiofor and Jeremy Irons energy perfectly, and then you put your own little sauce on it for when he was just regular Taka. Aaron Pierre, as always, I'm so excited to see you be Green Lantern John Stewart. And as Mufasa, you did James Earl Jones justice, and I'm sure he would be proud of you playing a younger Mufasa. You channeled that kingly energy, and Mufasa didn't even want to be king. He just wasn't scared. He had the skills. He stepped into it. This movie is basically a lesson on a king isn't born. You can step into that. It's not just blood that makes you able to be a king, if you get what I mean. But like I said, guys, I give this movie a 8.5 out of 10. Some things I would have changed, but that's just me personally. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. And guys, I will catch you all next time.